Hey guys, quick note. I'm just gonna let you know ahead of time if you're not familiar with this name, this episode's gonna get rough, so trigger warning. Enjoy!
A well-behaved woman is trim and proper. Chores always done, not a hair out of place. When the husband comes home, she greets him with a smile.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Are you tired of Hitler?
Have you no shame?
Okay, one liar as a kid can find another liar.
I want that stricken from the record.
How else is she gonna learn if she doesn't have a feather?
I could go fuck in the big house.
You're a mess, girl. I am here to audition for Babysitters Club extras. I brought my own hammer.
You hold it up like Thor.
I do. I did. I brought my own hammer. There's no hammer.
Did you finally watch Thor Love and Thunder?
No.
Hannah,
I'm watching Big Love.
you're missing out. Jane Foster is Thor.
Yeah. Yep.
We get Natalie Portman as a goddess.
And a dying woman.
Yes, both. It's
Yes.
great. It's fucking great.
I will have to watch it at some point. I
That
cannot
is
make
so non-committal. What a diplomatic answer.
I cannot make promises right now.
Such a fucking vague answer.
Got shit going on.
Yes, you do have shit going on. Yeah, you do.
It's called work
That's what it is.
and laziness. Welcome to the newest episode of Well-Behaved Woman, although it won't be the newest episode after another one comes out. So maybe it's the new one to you. This is a weird intro. B's not here. I'm just going to let everyone know. This is a mess.
Welcome to Well-Behaved Women, everyone. This is Lauren, and I'm here with Hannah, who is freaking out about an intro. Honey, it's okay.
I haven't done it for a while. B, it's just so natural when B does it.
Well, yeah, he's used to emceeing
That's right.
entire evenings, so...
I used to think I was good at public speaking.
And then you started having to talk into a microphone on a regular basis, and we're like, oh, wait.
I'm learning.
Yeah. It takes practice.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yes, obviously Lauren, myself, Hannah. We have two extra guests, one of which who just jumped down.
Yeah, I was leaning too far forward. He's like, my lap is gone.
Oh, that would
okay.
be
He needs-
Pippin.
Pippin, go to bed.
There's a picture of Pippin on our website if you want to see
Yeah,
Pippin. He's the sweetest.
such a cutie.
Yeah.
And those of you who have listened to the show kind of from the start, he's our pod dog. He's our pod puppy. And our fourth guest for the evening, or you might hear his snoring on and off for the evening depending on how loud he wants to be. But we got Chewy in the background here. So
There we go.
Potters and two assistants.
No.
Here's a boy.
Pippin has chosen my lap for the moment.
Yeah, so B is not with us today, so we are doing a two-person recording with a snoring dog in the back, possibly at some point too. You might also hear, maybe a dog toot or two.
A dog toot?
I don't know.
You think
we
we
might
hear
hear a
it?
fart.
How loud are they going to get?
Okay, Pippins are fucking tiny and adorable, and I love them. And then Chewies are loud and really stinky. Well, Pippins are
Pray
also
for
stinky,
Pippin.
but
Pray for it to be Pippin.
Pippins are also stinky, but they sound better.
I don't know who I want.
The audio quality is a lot
Do
more.
I want to know it's coming, or would I rather not hear it? I think I'd rather know it's coming.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway,
this is a show. All right. How do we start this?
I don't know. Oh, wait. This year in history. That's
I like that. Yeah.
That's my
Okay.
best guess.
No, that was a good one. Yeah.
Thank you.
The first nuclear-powered submarine, the USS Nautilus, is launched into Groton, Connecticut by the First Lady of the United States, Mamie Eisenhower.
Okay. We're in the 40s. 1940s. Next one.
Viet Minh forces under General Vo Nguyen Giap, I'm really sorry if I mispronounced the fuck out of that, began a massive artillery bombardment on the French military, beginning the Battle of Dien Bien Phu, the climactic battle of the First Indochina War.
I'm less confident now.
The Soviet Union recognizes the sovereignty of East Germany, and Soviet troops remain in the country.
Okay. Okay. How many more do we have? Is that the last one?
I can give you one more.
Okay. Well, I will take it.
Legendary symphony conductor Arturo Toscanini experiences a lapse of memory during a concert broadcast for live from Carnegie Hall in New York City.
Rough.
At the concert's end, his retirement is announced and he never conducts in public again.
No, that's so sad.
It was really sad. I saw a video of it. It was
Oh my God, make me cry. Okay.
It would be it's like when McConnell had a stroke on live TV, but like actually if you didn't want someone to be suffering, you know?
Shots fired.
If he wasn't a piece of shit.
Right. That's true. For someone you could have compassion for.
Exactly. Someone who hasn't actively worked against trying to let you exist as a human being at all, ever. Unless you're a fucking unborn child. You know, someone who hasn't tried to put down their constituents at every fucking turn. Piece of shit.
Really, really, really wish he would step down and retire.
Anyway, what year are we at?
I'm going to guess.
I'm not feeling angry about politics right now. I don't think that we should have, cognitive tests to deal with old people in the fucking Congress or Senate. Nah, that's not badly needed.
No. Let's see. I'm going to guess 1942.
You know what? You win because there's no one else here.
Yay! That is always, that always feels great.
Yeah, no, you got under it.
But I was under it. Okay. Yeah. How far away was I?
I'll get to that, but I've got a little backstory for you first.
Twist.
Yeah, so no, I'll get to the year.
Okay.
But we're going to I'll tell you the backstory first.
Okay.
In 1887, head of the San Francisco Examiner, George Hearst, decided to hand control to his son, William. George really had nothing to lose in the matter, as he had literally been given the company as a payment on a debt he was owed. Here, just have a company.
Great.
Here you go.
Thank you. I'll take this.
Here's the keys.
Okay.
William, being of crossed eyes and weird brain, took that and ran with it as a career. Oh yeah, his photo in Wikipedia kind of has his little crossed eyes. He kind of looks like he's little.
Is that permanent, or did he do that on purpose?
No idea. Whatever it was, the photo was just.
Oh shit! Maybe we should fact check.
Anyway,
okay,
he's fucking dead. It doesn't matter.
All right.
Being of crossed eyes and weird brain, he took that and ran with it as a career. He moved to New York and he bought the New York Journal.
Oh.
Hearst made his money not from the fact that he was the son of a wealthy senator or the fact that he sold papers. No. Hearst made his money from the content of his papers. Fun little tidbit of media history is called yellow journalism.
What?
It is the early paper equivalent of sex sells.
Oh, what makes it yellow?
It's like, we're gonna bait you with headlines. It's misleading stuff. The way that they call it is like you're cowardly. You're yellow.
Oh, okay.
So it's a whole thing.
It's like
there's a whole other story to that, and we're gonna get into that at some point because we got a future episode coming up that I'm really excited about.
Woo. Okay, but yes, so he basically was doing sex sells, scandal sells.
Indeed it did. His papers featured articles with huge headlines, sexy and scandalous writing meant to entice and engorge.
Engorge? Don't say that word at me.
Engorge.
Ew.
I wrote it on purpose because that's what the whole point is, like, let's
Ew. Okay.
build it up, man. Wildly speculative discussions of crime and corruption.
Yeah, a lot of intrigue.
He made a shit ton of money, and he expanded it and expanded it and expanded it, like all good capitalists do.
Yep, because there's no limit.
His company is now called the Hearst Corporation, and direct from their website, quote, Hearst is a leading global diversified information services and media company with operations in 40 countries.
Oh, God, that's huge.
Yeah. So they're still pretty major. They have, like, offices in New York still.
Ew. I mean, not ew, but like just ew, the bigness of it. It's just too big.
It's big. It's huge, and it keeps getting bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Monopolies are great. Monopolies
No.
are fine. Monopolies are what we want all the time.
Okay, side note, real quick. Are you on TikTok?
Not really.
Okay, are you on YouTube?
I have YouTube.
Okay, are you seeing ads for Monopoly Go that are so over the top and annoying?
No.
All right. Never mind. I'll show you later. They are just
Okay.
so sappy stupid, but if I go off on a tangent, we'll never get to the episode. So,
Is Monopoly Go a trigger for you right now?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is actually starting to trigger me
All
a
right,
bit where
yeah,
I'm like,
so we'll
oh,
move on."
not again. And I hope somebody out there understands what I'm talking about. Anybody on TikTok will see them constantly where it's like a wife going, I'm going to take all your money. And the guy's like,
What the
I know. And he goes, not unless I crash your buildings first or something stupid. And then they're like, no.
You're going off on the tangent.
Yeah, I
You
know.
said you weren't going to do that, and then you did.
Thanks for checking me before I wreck me. Go ahead.
Did you just fart?
No. Sorry. I just did like it was very, very reminiscent of a fart. But no, I did this. Hold on, I might.
Yep.
I just pushed on the bottom of this fold-out chair.
We are both in less than ideal chairs for what we're doing,
Yeah, I don't know.
but
It's
we are
making
working
me-
with it. And so if you hear squeaks and fart-like things,
Yeah.
it's not. It's our chairs.
But it is making me have good posture.
Yes. Yep. Sitting straight up. And you've got
My
your little
spine.
self in the mirror so you can,
Yeah.
again, check yourself. Like, all right, am I straight up? Yep, I'm good. All right. All right. William had kids. They helped with the business, but they didn't really run it, nor were they outlandishly wealthy in their own right. William was the rich one. He was the rich guy.
He put them on an allowance.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, he was running the company,
Yeah.
and they had like their inheritances, and they were working for the company, so they were making good incomes of their own.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nearly as much as like he was making.
Right.
Yeah. Those kids had kids, and today we are going to talk about the most notorious of them all.
Is it Patty? Look at that face. I'm right.
Yeah.
Patty Hearst. Ooh, this is a fun one.
She prefers to be called Patricia.
Oh.
On February 20th, 1954, so you were under
I was under by about 7 years.
Yeah.
Or 9 years. 9 years.
9 years.
I can do math. Guys, don't roast me. Nobody roast me, please.
The fourth Hearst son, Randolph, and his philanthropist wife, Catherine, gave birth to the third of what would be their 5 daughters.
Oh, shit.
Patricia Hearst was a woman born exactly in the right time and exactly the right place for this type of story to have taken place.
Patricia.
Yes. She was very much a product of that generation's values.
Okay. That generation, mid-50s.
Yeah, so like they had her post-war, so she's a boomer.
Okay. So
and
into the
her
60s.
Parents, yeah, like she was was teenager in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
She was raised in a solidly upper middle class and lower upper class home. Like,
Okay,
it's
I
up in
know
that range.
I know
you
exactly the kind of house that is because that's exactly the kind of houses I kind of eventually grew up in.
Nice.
Yeah, so like they're nice homes. You know, their Christmases are probably pretty fun.
good, yeah.
They're pretty fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of good Christmases. So yeah, okay, yeah, but upper like for a big empire that her grandfather has.
Well, they're also trying to like live within their means. You know,
Oh,
I mean, they don't
okay.
have to spend it exorbitantly.
This
but
is
like,
the generation that was responsible with money.
Yeah, I think by the time they got there, it was like, all right, they've already got their homes and they're set up for a while. They probably built big at the beginning where it was kind of cheap to do so, and
Yeah.
so it was like, well, why move out of this house? It's nice.
Yeah.
The family had money, but Randolph was a long ways off from splitting all that inheritance with his multiple siblings. So it was like they had money, but they didn't have all the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were in that middle ground, you know?
Right.
Only kind of really wealthy, but not super really wealthy.
Attached to really wealthy.
Attached to really wealthy, but not quite really wealthy yet. Yeah, almost
Not
really
yet.
wealthy. Yeah. We have to be very specific about these
Grandpappy
ranges,
has
you
it
know?
all.
Yeah.
He's holding on to it, and when Pappers sends you a birthday gift, you save it.
Something to live for.
Pappy Hearst. Grandpappy Hearst.
Anyway, so Patricia went to private schools and then she went to a private business college. And
Okay.
she was a middle child, okay? You're
Okay.
an only child, so you really don't
have
get
no
this.
idea.
You have zero context.
I have no lead in this pencil.
Patricia
I
was...
hate that saying I just said. Why did I say that? I meant to say I don't have a foot. I have no skin in this game. What is the thing I was
What
trying
was
to
the
say?
pencil comment?
I don't want to say it again.
I want that one forevermore. Tell me.
You will hear it when you edit
Oh
this
my
episode.
God. I don't want to have said that.
I wish I hadn't said that. But it's out there on the internet now. Don't cut it out. That's a good laugh.
Clip it.
Yeah, keep that one in there. No, I have no idea what this is like to have any siblings at all, let alone be a middle child. Like I had undivided attention on my grades, my behavior, my manners. My parents tell me all the time, "You eat like a pig." And I was like, "Thanks. Can you please not look at me?"
You were the sole focus of your parents' attention.
It has
Damn.
its benefits and it has a lot of drawbacks.
I get it.
Yeah, well, growing up is
You're
hard
the
for
only chance for their family to have a legacy and be the perfect family that they're supposed to be. You have a chance to turn this around, and you're their only chance to turn this around.
And I've pretty much told them I have no idea if I'm having kids. So, just be prepared for the day that I tell you, nah. My mom's like, I've kind of given up on the idea just in case. She's like, I don't want to get too attached to the idea of having a grandchild.
Oh, I've had this conversation a lot. Like, I want to be a mom. I would love to be a mom, but I don't think I will ever be in a place to afford to be a mom.
Yeah.
And that is super depressing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be responsible about it, and I don't want to raise a kid in a shitty situation where I don't have the money to afford them.
Yeah.
Like a lot of parents have done in generations past. I don't want to do that to a kid. That's super selfish.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of where I'm at, where I'm like, I'll adopt a child that's already on the earth. If I have children, I'm going to see if it's plausible for me to go the adoption route. But
as you know, my mom is adopted, so
yes.
I love that plan.
All right, back to
Patricia. Right. So she is a solid middle child.
Okay.
And for you that do not have a context, I'm going to try to explain it.
Okay.
Have you ever had like a friend group and there is the one person that's like kind of the clown? They go out of their way to be like the sassy, sarcastic one, or they're constantly just kind of being a goof, trying to do something to get any sort of attention?
Is it me?
No, I'm asking, like, have you ever had...
I'm actually asking
Are
myself.
you that friend?
I might be. I might have been so starved for attention.
You got attention constantly.
I didn't
at
want
home.
their attention. I wanted
needed
attention
other
from other
attention.
people.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. I was with them all the time.
Wow.
They're still, to this day, some of the only people I've really gone on a good trip with. Like, it's sad.
Yeah.
But no, I do know a few other of my friend groups. Yeah, I've seen this person before also.
All right.
There might have been two of us in a room.
Yeah. Patricia was that. She was like anything she said came out as sarcastic or like, half-assed or whatever. Mm-hmm. She was that kid.
Got it.
And she was starting, as she grew up, as one does. And in the late 60s and early 70s, she was starting to maybe see things in a different way than her conservative parents.
Yeah, I see.
Yes. So she was getting a little tired of that upper crust lifestyle.
Ah.
Yeah. And so she left her private business college and she transferred to Berkeley.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Yes. When she got to Berkeley, she met a PhD student, Steve Weed. Steve.
Why do I know the name Steve?
It's because we started calling B Steve in like one of the first couple episodes.
That's what I was trying to think. I was like, what?
Steve.
Yeah, so Steve, what was the last name?
Weed.
Weed. That's a fun last name. Okay, Butthead. All right. Or who's laughed like that? Was that Beavis or Butthead?
I made that up on the spot.
All right. Well, sounds like one of the two of them. Sorry. Have you seen Beavis and Butthead?
Never once in my life.
Oh, that was a reference that when you just thought I was calling you a butthead.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know Beavis and Butthead like as characters, so I figured it was a reference to that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think I've seen like maybe their giggles, but no,
It's
I
come
made
up in
that
like
up.
commercials, yeah. But okay. Yeah. So Steve Weed, what was he a PhD student for? Do we know? Or is that yes, okay. We have the info.
We have thus. What?
Thus?
We have the information.
We have the information.
We have it.
Yes.
Yes. Now, Steve was a philosophy guy. Yes.
Law?
No, he was a philosophy PhD student.
Okay.
Like
Oh.
philosophical.
Mega philosophy.
that asshole.
Oh shit, that asshole.
That guy.
Oh.
Hey, you've met that philosophy guy
I guess
that's like kind of smarter than everybody.
I don't know if it was philosophy guy, but I knew a literature guy.
Maybe that, like, he sees deeper meaning in things, and what you're really not understanding.
Oh
is
God, stop talking. That guy.
that guy.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're
So
saying.
that shaggy fucking hippie was someone who could really, quote unquote, challenge Patricia.
Oh.
Yeah. Today we would call this dude a pseudo-intellectual mansplainer.
Yeah, exactly.
But back then he was just Steve.
Weed. Oh, I just Steve Weed. Yes.
So he smoked. They'd argue about dumb shit like non-existent philosophical messaging in movies, and he'd criticize women every turn about the choices that they made.
It just reminds me of that scene
Does it
where
It sounds like every fucking
guy who wants you to watch The Godfather so he can talk about
Yes.
it. That's from the Barbie movie.
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Godfather? And he's like, no, The Godfather.
God.
Godfather?
That will never not be a funny
I
moment
loved
for
it.
every woman out there
Here,
who's seen
let
this.
us show you.
So fucking validating.
Yes. Ugh. I know. I got my
Or like
parents to watch it.
Scarface. Oh my god.
I got the Terrys to watch it. They bought it on Amazon, so now I can watch it at home. So if we need to rewatch, we can dive deep into it and try to pick it apart.
I've never seen it.
The Barbie movie?
The Godfather.
Oh, The Godfather.
The Godfather.
The Godfather. No, The Godfather. I can't remember how she says it.
She says it like that.
Yeah, kind of.
Godfather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Godfather. Anyway, so Steve Weed is this guy.
Steve Weed is this guy.
This is
and
that
he
guy.
was just that dude. He bullshit philosophical stuff, criticisms of women for having their own opinions about shit
that was my
he
ex.
happened to not agree with, because if it's not agreeing with his opinion, it's probably wrong for a number of reasons. And
Yeah.
here's what you don't understand.
Yeah. And I went to this school and I went and learned
What
all
you're
this.
really not understanding is that I took 2 semesters on this philosopher, and he posits that this state of being is really just our natural form. So,
Yeah, okay.
fuck you.
Yeah, okay, fine. Whatever. Anything to get out of this room. Whatever you say, dude. I'm just trying to look for an exit door.
So, they got engaged and they moved in together.
Ew. All right.
She's being challenged.
No.
Yeah. By late 1973, Patricia's mom, Catherine, who was none too happy about the idea of the shaggy dude fucking her daughter, she was not happy about it, but she really wasn't one to control her daughter's life. Like, okay, you're going to make your own fucking decisions.
So she told her dad.
No.
Oh, okay.
She had kind of come to her a couple times with this idea of like, hey, you don't actually have to marry this guy. You know that, right? Like, you can.
True. It's like
can
the
do a
first
little
guy
better.
you dated out of school. Maybe,
Yeah, like-
maybe hold off.
Yeah.
Long engagement.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, 5
No,
years.
he's the one. I promise.
No.
I
Okay.
will love him
Then
forever.
he'll be the one in 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Okay, honey.
Yep.
Put the ring away.
I'm going to just go ahead and shout out, my mom did this, and I did not listen to her, and I regret that.
Oh, she proposed a long engagement?
No, she did the whole, like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to.
True.
And at the time, I was like, oh my God, I spent so much money. We've had this thing. I don't want to back out of an engagement.
Right, we sent the
and at
invitations
BYU, it was literally like
Get your MRS degree.
You kind of have to get married, or like, God forbid, you back out of an engagement, because even if I was the one that wasn't the one fucking up, me
It's
calling off
shameful.
the engagement means that like I must just want to go date around. I must not be ready to settle.
Oh, well, that's assuming a lot.
No, you were never Mormon, so you didn't get it.
I was not. No.
But I will say I am sorry I didn't listen to my mom.
I hate when you have
People
those
listen to your
realizations.
fucking mothers, okay?
Yeah, I
They're
have
always
to.
right. It's
For the most part.
they've fucking been there.
Yeah.
They've lived through that shit, or
Yeah.
they've lived through close to that shit. I think my mom was engaged and I didn't even know about it until years later. And she called off an engagement.
My mom called off an engagement.
Yeah. And I
think.
fucking should have.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Well-
and I regretted it.
I think my mom said the guy cheated or something. And she was like, done. I'm not dealing with that. Which good for her. Yeah, moms are usually right.
Yeah.
But did Patricia listen to her mom?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So in early 1974.
Another example.
Yeah, absolutely not. Youth, man.
Yeah, you think you know it all.
In early 1974, Catherine decided to just accept it. And so she had them come over so a photographer could take engagement pictures, which was fairly common in,
right.
back in the day. You put the engagement in
Yeah.
the news, and then people mail you gifts, or like
Yeah.
there's an announcement so they can be like, oh, hey, congratulations, or whatever. So
Right.
Right.
And she's about 20 at this time.
Yeah, like 19 or something.
19. Okay.
And even though Catherine was upset about the clothing for this weird PhD kid, that was wearing for the photo, I think he had like jeans and
Birks on, like
he needed to
Birkenstocks.
have like a tie, and so he had to go get a tie from his. It was
So
a
she's
whole-
kind of like,
there was
dude,
a
come
whole
on, dress up. And my
Basically, it
mom
was like,
has this argument with my
"He
dad
can
all the time.
borrow my husband's khakis," and she was like, "No, he's gonna fucking wear jeans. It's fine. He's fine."
Okay.
Anyway, and so the engagement announcements of Patricia Hearst and Steve Weed made the papers.
Patricia Weed. Just testing it out.
Weed, Patty.
Yeah. My name is Weed, Patricia.
I'm sorry. What's that?
My full name is Patricia Smoked Dat Weed.
I'm sorry. How does that middle name spelled? Is it two different words, or is it hyphenated?
It's a hyphenated. Yeah. It's
okay.
Smoked Dat.
DAT or THAT?
No. D as in dog,
Yeah.
as in what's up, dog.
Okay.
Okay. And then I can't keep going.
No, I like that. That's great.
Okay. Yeah. So they sent out the engagement
Sent
ad.
out the engagement in the newspaper. They
The
published
announcement,
in
not
news.
ad.
Mhm. The little, yeah. Like,
Check it
my
out.
daughter's getting married.
Oh, yes, of course. They had to
Yes.
put the announcement. They did that, yeah, up through the 80s and 90s, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. News bulletin.
News bulletin. Elsewhere in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
In the last few years of the 1960s, global tensions, conflicts, rebellions, and revolutions very much characterized a birth of a new era in activism. In the late 60s, it's peaceful protests and anti-war parades, people in the streets with daisies and demanding peace and equality and civil rights and all that shit.
All that, yeah, all that shit.
All that shit that makes people's lives better and,
Yeah.
try to cooperate
How
with
dare
people
they?
and not kill them in the streets.
How
all
dare
that crap.
they protest for peace?
How fucking, or equal rights. God damn it.
This world's insane.
It was the beginning of the left.
Oh, the left.
The left.
What is this voice?
Trump.
Oh. The left.
Mr.
No, I
Trump.
can't do my Trump voice.
The left.
Oh, I can't do a Trump voice.
The worst party.
The worst party.
It's not a party I would go to.
No, and I'm glad about that.
The left.
But he used to be a Democrat.
Don't get me started on
I
that
know.
guy. Okay.
I mean, no, in no way or shape or form do I think he should have ever.
91 indictments. Woo, woo.
Ah,
woo,
yes.
woo, woo. That's
Yes.
all I can say.
Did you see any of the updates on how his civil trial?
I saw
Yeah,
I
how
saw
that
his
went.
courtroom sketch where he's like,
Yeah, And we're, oh my God.
Oh, God.
It was just like the judge had to keep telling him to stop doing speeches.
Yeah,
and
like,
he just eventually
telling
gave
his
up.
lawyer, control your client.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he got his first fine for breaking the
Code of the court.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
It's so tasty.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm waiting for the criminal trials. We'll see how those go.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we can grab him.
And I'm very proud of Colorado for
pussy.
continuing in the case about trying to get him disqualified from
Yes.
the state ballot.
From the state ballot.
yeah.
Which would be amazing just to get that state. I mean, like, the state was never, I mean, it's always pretty blue.
Yeah. As of recording, they haven't made a call yet, but the fact that the trial is going forward and they're moving through it means that it is significant enough and reasonable enough to actually be tried in court.
Fun. That'll be a fun one to watch.
So in 1968, there were global protests for myriad reasons, but the end goal was the same: peace and unity, some type of utopia. By the early 1970s, that was fucking exhausting.
We did so much protesting.
Yeah. And we're tired. It hasn't changed yet. It hasn't gotten better.
I can't even lift my signs anymore.
Exactly. Nobody in positions of power had really hurt anyone. The protests got broken up and people got hurt.
Dude, this is frustrating.
Because we're mostly a fucking police state and can get beaten to death for reasons or no reasons.
When was Kent State? The Kent State essentially massacre?
No idea.
Do you know what it is?
No idea.
Okay. Somebody out there obviously knows more than I do. But what I do know is it was like some peaceful protests at a university got broken up by police and they started shooting on them.
It sounds like a lot of protests.
I'm going to double check my facts real quick.
So some people really didn't love how those peaceful dreams had crashed and died, and out of the hippy-dippy 60s peace and love shit came the darker and more extreme version of social justice activists.
Oh, dude.
Some people who saw the violence being committed against masses of humans
Yeah.
and thought, well, maybe I can do that too, but attach to it a cause.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, and then their buddies are like, you know what?
Maybe don't do violence.
Yeah. But you know what could kill some people and be like really fucking dangerous to make? And that third guy is like, homemade dab rig? The guy's like, no, the second dude kind of just says to that third dumbass buddy,
I'm not
he's
trying
like,
to
no,
explode
no,
the house,
guys,
sir.
bombs.
Wait, no, maybe I am trying to explode the house.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Absolutely.
I
Bombs
spoke-
is the point, man.
Yeah, bombs, because bombs fix everything.
Bombs make sense, dude.
Oh my God. Especially given what we're seeing now with Israel and Hamas and the civilian bloodshed on both sides,
Yep.
but specifically, mainly on the Palestinians in Gaza. It is bombs have never done any good. Okay. Anyway, PSA over.
No, that is a PSA I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Because honestly, fuck them both. Like,
I do not side with Hamas or Hezbollah. Absolutely
no,
not.
like, and Israel is really just they're just blanket fucking bombing
they're blanket
innocent
firing.
people because of a terrorist organization. Like, yeah, no, that's also fucked up.
Yeah.
Nobody's good in this.
And the power dynamic between the two, and the civilians have no, like, they're not agreeing with what Hamas is doing. I mean, some might, but majority, I guarantee you, just want to live peacefully somewhere. And
yep,
now it's all they're getting shot at because of what Hamas does.
yeah, they're getting murdered.
They're murdered.
Anyway, bombs
Sorry,
is the point.
PSA over again.
No, you're fine.
Second time.
We're getting into bombs.
Yeah,
So more
bomb-
extreme groups saw more get done. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I just said bombs are just triggering for everybody.
Yep. So trigger.
Yeah.
Yep. More extreme groups saw more get done in shorter times from revolutionaries and guerrilla techniques than peaceful fuckers saw accomplished in years of activism.
Ah, shit. You don't want that to get results.
Yep.
No.
But it does. But it does.
No.
So this
No.
was an...
I reject this.
I reject
I reject
This
this
logic.
fact.
this historical fact. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No, you're fine. You can reject it all you want.
I
but
wish.
It doesn't...
No,
won't.
it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, it doesn't change it.
That's horrible.
This was an opportunity for many leftist revolutionary dickheads thinking their pseudo-intellectual bullshit was better than everyone else's pseudo-intellectual bullshit.
I'm getting so tired
Yeah.
of everybody just going, well, mine's better.
It's, to me, that is religion, because Mormonism literally was founded on all of those religions are wrong and our religion is right.
Yes.
Mine is better.
Have you seen the South Park episode about Joseph
Oh,
Smith?
yeah, absolutely.
Bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 da.
I really want to see the musical.
I do too. If it comes to Denver, I'm taking you.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I'll figure out coverage for it because I would love to see
I
that.
will also make that happen.
The openings. I've listened to the soundtrack a number of times, and my two favorite songs that really resonate with me. There's the I Believe, and it's basically him explaining all of the reasons that all of these logical fallacies mean that he really shouldn't believe, but he's going to anyway because he is a Mormon, and Mormons just believe. And it's super,
It's called Faith. Look it up.
so relatable because literally anytime we asked questions, it's like,
That's just
yeah,
how
it really doesn't matter because we're doing better now, and that is what counts.
Yeah, I don't know if that works.
And then at the very beginning, the hello, the end of that song, they get into a chorus thing, and the way that they sing it is so incredibly Mormon Tabernacle Choir that even though it's making fun of it, your breath still catches in your throat, and you're like, oh,
It's beautiful.
I feel the spirit. Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Even though I know it's completely false, I'm still right there. That's the emotion that they catch because these guys grew up in it. And so they fucking know, no, that brings people in.
I see. So
That's what
they probably
catches
had a
them.
lot of ex-Mormon.
Yeah.
I wonder how the LDS church feels about Book of Mormon.
You know what's funny is that I don't know if it still happens, but when it was on Broadway, they literally had Book of Mormons being handed out in the lobby, and advertisements for missionary calls. If you want to call this number, we can send you a book, or we can have someone come and talk to you.
Oh, fuck.
It was free advertisement for the church, and they
I
just
guess
leaned into it.
They're just kind of we'll take any publicity is.
And honestly, as a former Mormon,
Former Mormor. I've never heard that before.
I just made that up.
Oh, that's why.
No, former Mormon, or an ex-Mormon as we're called usually.
Mormon. There we go.
A lot of places and a lot of people have made fun of the church over the years, and so they've just kind of taken that and run with it and been oh yeah, we're so silly, we're just a peculiar people, whatever, we're so weird, haha. And meanwhile they're doing fucking horrible things with everyone's money and hiding billions in assets and shit. It's fucking great. But they just kind of encourage everyone oh yeah, we're weird, haha, silly.
We know how
You
to
can
throw
make fun of us, but it doesn't matter, we'll just lean into it, haha, fine, haha.
Uh-oh. Wolf in sheep's clothing?
But we got off onto a tangent about Mormonism, so we're coming back.
Okay.
right.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes. So, bombings. Pseudo-intellectual bullshit for one person is better than pseudo-intellectual bullshit from this other person.
Yeah. My grass is greener than yours.
Exactly. In fact, bombings from left-wing groups were so popular in the early and mid-1970s that people responded to a new bombing more calmly than we respond to shootings now. Once a woman was informed of another bombing in the area, and she just responded all right, who did it this time?
Oh, fuck. How blasé.
Yeah, which was the group that takes credit for it this time.
Yeah, who is it this time?
Yeah, it was so fucking common, it changed how we viewed terrorism, moving into the contemporary sphere of violence.
The terror sphere.
Yeah. Welcome to the terror sphere. No
terror
one gets out
dome.
alive.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I think of America right now.
Ding, ding, ding. Deathmatch.
No, I'm just trying to go to the mall.
You have no choice.
Crap.
Deathmatch.
I didn't know what to say.
There are plenty of left-wing extremist groups, but we are going to concentrate on one specific one today, a group called the Symbionese Liberation Army.
SB? Wait, no.
SLA.
SLA, thank you.
So part of that effort in the late 60s of social revolution and civil rights was a new push towards prisoner outreach. White student activists who were looking for rehabilitation opportunities and a little white guilt for prisoners went to prisons and worked with them on education and preparing prisoners for life on the outside.
Okay. Sounds
Basically,
reasonable.
Guilty feeling white kids from Berkeley going to prisons and telling prisoners how to get by when they got out of prison.
Oh, well, okay. Less reasonable.
Yeah. One of these programs was started in Vacaville, where many black prisoners were held.
Uh-oh.
And this was chosen for its relative proximity to Berkeley.
Okay.
They were politically minded already, and of course, brought those views into the prisons with them, where they then shared their revolutionary mindsets with prisoners who sometimes agreed with them and added to them.
Okay.
One such man was a guy named Donald DeFries.
DeFries.
Donald DeFries had been a prisoner in Vacaville in 1969 when the program was at the prison, and transferred prisons, but took his views with him. He still kept in loose contact with some of the people he'd met in that program. While cleaning one day, he noticed something. A guard had stupidly left a gate open, just ajar.
Weird.
So
It's part of your job, bruh, is to make sure they're not open.
weird. That's
Turn around,
kind of weird.
sir.
So Donald
Is this open for everyone?
started walking
I go?
towards it.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
Nobody's watching.
It's like,
Okay.
okay, weird. This is kind of weird. So
It's like someone left it open for him.
he kept walking towards it, and he was like, "Weird. Nobody's coming after me."
Jesus.
So he walked through it, and
Oh my God.
nobody came after him, and he's like,
What?
Weird.
Nobody came after him?
So he climbed up.
Nobody noticed he was gone?
He climbed up a barbed wire fence
I'd risk it.
and was like, "Weird. Nobody's coming after me."
Oh my God.
So he dropped down on the other side of the fence and took off running. And
I hope
was
this
like,
place is closed.
Weird. Nobody's coming after me. That's weird. So Donald DeFries.
I don't know how this is
then
possible.
Donald DeFried.
Wow. I like it. I was Donald DeFries. Now I'm Donald DeFried.
I'm Donald DeFree. But he couldn't just go by Donald anymore.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Now he's out of prison and he
Now
needs
it's
a new
Donnie.
name. Yeah.
Donnie DeFries.
Donnie DeFree, man. That sounds a lot like Donald DeFries. No, man, it's Donnie DeFree.
No relation.
It's two different people. Donald DeFries. That sounds like such a fucking stupid ass name. I'm Donnie. I'm not Donald. I'm Donnie. Donnie DeFree.
Okay.
Donnie DeFree.
I feel like you could have gotten that idea across in a few less sentences. No? Nothing? All right. Bye, Donnie. I want to go.
I'm Donnie DeFree. Do you
Got it.
understand?
Okay.
I'm a different person.
Yes.
That's Donald DeFries.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got two
Thank you.
different less letters in my last name.
Oh, yes. Thank you for correcting me, sir. I'm going to.
Donnie.
Okay, bye,
That's
Donnie.
Donnie.
I'm walking away. I'm leaving.
Woo, that was so close. Oh my God.
God, that guy's weird. Fuck. Jesus. Anyway.
Anyway, he couldn't go by Donald anymore.
He walked out.
He walked out. And
He
then-
just walked out.
He
Every
walked out?
prisoner's fucking dream.
Yep.
That's insane.
The door was just open.
That is so stupid. It's just such a stupid way to escape from prison.
Yeah. So he was trying to figure out his new name, and he really wanted it to be something that would identify with these beliefs, these morals, these values that he'd been building up over the last, few years of his interactions with the outreach program and the building, discussions within the prison system of all of these new ideals and shit.
Okay. What did he come up with?
Right. So he loved this story growing up. It was the story of the Amistad. A slave ship in 1839 had been taken over by the enslaved people, and the leader of that group was named Sin Q.
Ooh.
Now, that sounded pretty good, but it didn't have quite enough, kablam to it.
it has
didn't
to
have
have
enough
kablam?
weight, right? Yeah, so he's got to
Okay.
figure out, what's going to give him weight.
Sin to thunder. Sin to...
It's Sin Q.
Sin Q, thank you.
Sin Q.
I want to say it right. Sin Q... Kaboom. Is it Sin Q Kaboom?
It is now.
Oh.
General Field Marshal Sin Q. Sounded a lot better.
He can He can just
made
give himself
a
titles?
general field marshal. Yep.
Of what army?
Symbionese Liberation Army, but he hadn't thought of that yet, right?
He's just got the name.
No, he's figured out what his name is, right? Okay, so first he needs a place to go.
Yeah.
So the people that he was in contact with in the prison, he talks to them outside and they're like, "Hey, we've got someone that can keep you safe. We'll put you with her."
Okay.
So his little associates that wouldn't rat him out and had the same moral alignments as he did, set him up with a girl named Patricia Soltysik.
Okay.
She was the daughter of a pharmacist, and Patricia was a student at Berkeley who had been disenchanted with the peaceful protests in 1971 when one of those protests had turned deadly.
Uh-huh.
So she turned into a radical feminist and revolutionary. In the course of her schooling, she'd been given a nickname and she'd started going by, instead of Patricia, Ms. Moon.
Ms. Moon.
The title was imparted by a lesbian lover, a neighbor of hers, and fellow feminist Camilla Hall. They both lived in Concord.
All right.
Right.
Ms. Moon.
Ms. Moon let Sin-Q move in with her, and very soon they were fucking.
Sin-Q Moon.
Duh. Sin-Q Moon!
General Sin-Q Moon.
So, Ms. Moon hadn't been a part of the program Sin-Q had been a part of at Vacaville, but his associates... So his associates basically were like, all right, if FBI, if they're looking for you, she has nothing to do with us, so they won't find you there. You'll be safe. And it really wasn't enough for him to have escaped from prison and just lay low for a bit and then, like, move on with his life. Mm-hmm. Right? DeFreeze wanted a cause. And being the good little revolutionary that she was, Ms. Moon was more than happy to help him find one.
Okay.
Together, they came up with a small group called the Symbionese Liberation Army.
Okay. The name Symbionese is taken from the word symbiosis, and we define its meaning as a body of dissimilar bodies and organisms living in deep and loving harmony and partnership in the best interest of all within the body. They intended the political symbiosis to encompass the unity of all left-wing struggles, feminist, anti-racist, anti-capitalist, and others. They wanted all races, genders, and ages to fight together in a left-wing united front and to live together peacefully.
Sounds nice.
I mean, yeah, on paper.
Yep.
On paper.
Like any other communist
I know
in
what's
utopia.
coming up.
Yep.
I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, this one I was like, I know that it's not really going to be a surprise. I think you knew the story way better than I did when I started this.
Maybe.
Probably
Because I watched Drunk History.
You knew a lot more than I did going into this because I didn't know anything about this story.
Oh, yeah. This is phenomenal.
I knew the name, but I didn't know why she was famous. I knew I recognized her, but
this poor woman went through some shit.
Yeah.
And then eventually was like, I'm changed. But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So they get together in the spring of 73. The whole summer they're fucking and they're building their little cause. They're recruiting the people who had been friends and associates with Sin-Q back during the outreach days. Mm-hmm. And pretty soon they have a nice little group going and they're getting themselves all worked up into a proper fucking lather. Right?
I thought you were going to say a frenzy.
A little
a little lather.
A lather.
Lather,
frenzy,
rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
I mean, because the second lather is like thick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had to at least go through one cycle and start lathering again.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that they were working themselves up about was fascism. I mean...
About, like, the threat of fascism.
Imagined fascism. Like, not actually real fascism, just what I think is fascism. Right?
Okay.
What our group thinks is fascism. Because we're anti-fascists, and we need to put down fascists. So let's go find some fascism.
Okay. All right, buddy. Whatever you say.
Marcus Foster was a fascist.
Marcus Foster.
Or so they thought.
Who's this guy?
Marcus Foster was the first black superintendent for Oakland schools, which was a big fucking deal in the early 70s. Black men were just barely getting to have positions of power or prestige. And in Oakland, of all places, it was just really awesome.
And so that's just automatically, they're like, oh, he's fascist.
No,
Oh.
this is the reason he's fascist. He had the fucking gall to propose during a school board meeting that the school introduce identification cards for the students to be able to be more easily tracked through the school system. Mm-hmm. This wasn't a popular idea, and Foster, being a non-crazy person, went to a subsequent school board meeting to propose an alternative plan. He's like, all right, I get this isn't the most popular thing. Let's try something else. But the news about the ID cards hadn't been updated since it came out. So nobody else knew that he had
kind of
proposed
compromising.
a different idea.
Yeah.
And the idea of identification cards for students fucking infuriated Sin-Q.
I've always had an ID card in school. Always. Since elementary school.
Yep.
We had ID picture day.
But they're fascist.
They're
fascist, okay? They
Okay.
keep you down,
How so?
okay? It's the man bringing you down.
But how
by
is-
identifying you? You're part of the system now,
So
man.
just having
You're
an
part of the fucking system if they ID you, because then you're gonna get caught on every
Okay.
other fucking thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have a driver's license?
Yeah.
That's an ID.
Well, I can't have a driver's license because technically I'm
You
a
just-
felon.
you just
and I'm
said-
an escaped convict. So
You did just say you
can't
have a
really
driver's
go in
license.
for a ID.
But you did-
I had a driver's license.
Oh, it's
but
had now.
I'm General Field Marshal Sin-Q now, so that one doesn't have. I don't have an ID for that. I just know who I am. I know it in my heart, in my fucking soul. I'm Sin-Q,
Do you drive?
General Field Marshal Sin-Q.
Okay. Do you drive? You personally?
Yeah,
You shouldn't.
but that would also make me part of the system, man.
I think I'm done
I can
here.
be a fucking sovereign citizen if I want to.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Okay. Again, whatever you say.
In November of 1973, the SLA caught Foster as he was coming out of a board meeting with his deputy superintendent. Mm-hmm. They shot and killed Marcus, and they wounded his deputy very badly. While the SLA claimed the killing and saying they killed him because he was fascist, Robert Blackburn, the deputy and then superintendent after Foster died, he didn't really agree. He said, these were not political radicals. They were uniquely mediocre and stunningly off base. The people in the SLA had no grounding in history. They swung from the world of being thumb-in-the-mouth cheerleaders to self-described revolutionaries with nothing but rhetoric to support them.
And they smell too.
And they smelled so fucking bad, man. When was the last time one of them had a shower?
I don't know. This guy's reading them. Like they're just average. They suck.
They almost killed me, but let me tell you how much
They suck.
How shit this group is.
Cowards.
Okay? Yeah. Not just cowards, but incompetent cowards.
Yeah, it's like the Three Stooges came after us.
Mediocre at best, okay? I'd give it 3 out of 5 stars.
3 out of
maybe
5.
2.
Don't recommend.
Don't recommend. If you can have another terrorist organization try to murder you, at least have them finish the job.
I left them a horrible review on Yelp.
Fuck.
Man, he went in on them. That's hilarious.
Yeah, because they tried to kill him, and they killed his friend and coworker.
Yeah. Wait, did they kill the actual superintendent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Marcus Foster, who was the first black superintendent, they
That's
murdered
so
him.
sad. Damn it.
They claimed.
He just proposed a bad idea for the time.
Yep.
And then nobody decided to go back and be like, has he changed his mind?
Basically.
Yeah. And so.
No,
okay.
they were running on like outdated information. Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry. I was messing with my nose piercing and then it jammed right in my septum.
Oh, okay. You doing okay?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Nose piercing problems, am I right? It's true, though.
There's a run-in with the FBI, and the members of the organization get killed, which only gives them more steam for their martyrdom bullshit.
Oh, fuck.
Right. Other members get taken by the FBI, and the free ones are now freaking out about how to get their buddies back.
Okay, scatter. Scatter.
Not scatter, gather.
No.
We need a plan.
The idea was, I took your leaders. Go bye-bye.
They didn't take the leaders.
Oh, they
took a
didn't?
couple like associate
That's
members
so
or whatever.
stupid.
Like, but the group is so small that like the loss of 3 or
guess.
4 other people was like, oh damn, we don't have like half our plan now.
Yeah, but it'd be even better if you just took the head off this teeny tiny snake.
They weren't able to capture Sinkyu,
Oh,
so he was still free.
bummer.
Enter a plan.
Okay, plan. Hi, how you doing? Can you
good.
tell us a little bit more about you? Tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
Take you to dinner.
I'm the plan. Hi. I've got
Hi.
about 7 parts here. If you can look at my tabs.
Sure.
Yep.
Are you categorized? Is it like a
Yes, I'm color coded. And then if you
Ooh.
can look at these sub tabs we've got highlighted
Oh, man.
in, the pertinent sections. If you'll
I
come and
appreciate
look
it,
at
but
subsection
I don't know if that's
2A.
appropriate talk for dinner.
Well, you just need to open me up and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You ready to get the check? don't do the eyebrows at me. Yeah, it was a little sexual.
That was definitely sexual.
I mean, I thought
Why do
it
you
was-
think I did the eyebrows?
No.
Fuck.
All right. So a plan has entered the chat.
So a plan has entered the chat. When the FBI raid happened and they seized documents, the plan at the first point was for the full moon of January 7th, 1974 to be a night of action.
Do you think that's when Miss Moon moons you? It's a full moon. I'm sorry, I had to.
That was pretty good.
You gotta wait for the full moon.
Fucking great.
It's excellent.
You know what? The nature of the action was unknown, so there never actually was anything, but let's go with it. Like the
pretend.
original plan was for Ms. Moon to moon the
Moon
whole world. She
Yes.
was going to do a live broadcast
In
around
the
whole
sky.
world. Yep.
They were gonna get a bunch of balloons. Put her in a lawn chair, and then she'd moon them from the sky, and they'd shine lights on it.
Well, yeah, it was San Francisco, like the Bay Area, so it was foggy. So yeah, or like cloudy. So yeah, they would have been able to do that for sure. They would have had a nice.
She
cloud
blows
for
off
it to-
course. Oh no! She's like hastily pulling her pants back up, trying to pop balloons slowly. All right, I'm
Her ass
sorry.
gets really cold, and it's actually starting to turn blue a little bit.
It's a blue moon. Oh, this is her name is perfect. Her name is so perfect. It's so great.
Oh,
It works. All right.
That's the next sticker is little blue ass underneath some
Balloons on a lawn chair. It's blue. Icicles forming on the bottom of the chair.
Yes. Oh god.
We'll get B to do it. Okay. So the plan was to wait for a full moon.
It was to have a night of action on that full moon,
Okay.
but nothing actually happened. And it was like the FBI had raided it like 3 days later, so it would have already happened if it was going to happen.
Huh.
But eventually, a plan did take form, and it took a very specific form.
Okay.
See, Sinkyu was still one of the free members of the org, and he had this idea that maybe they should kidnap someone of importance and then just use them as like leverage and some exchange for their comrades.
Okay.
Like, we'll give you this
Right. Ransom.
civilian back if you give us our people back.
Okay, yeah. So
Switcheroos.
an exchange.
Yeah.
They're looking for an exchange. Okay.
Yeah. Ms. Moon was then reading the paper, and she sees something. She sees an engagement announcement
Uh-oh.
of one Steve Weed to one Patricia Hearst.
I see. And she now recognizes the name Hearst.
She's like, Hearst? Like the fucking Hearst family? That family?
That family's got money.
Ooh. I got an idea.
I could use this.
Yeah. And they formed a terrible, fucking awful idea. On February 4th, 1974, Patricia and Steve were watching TV at home, as you do.
Right? That's usually where my TV is.
A frantic knock came at the door, and when Steve answered, it was a stranger. It was a small woman looking very upset and embarrassed. She said she'd accidentally hit someone's car in the driveway and she wanted to know if it belonged to them.
Okay.
Steve had a nice car, so he started getting a little frazzled.
Like,
He's
oh, God.
oh God, no, not my mechanical baby.
Not in the Royce.
Not the car.
Not my Honda.
So the stranger asked to use their phone so she could get a tow. And Patricia's like, we can work that out later. Let's just get your information and like your insurance and we can make some calls. I'm in my fucking boxers. Like, I don't want you to come into my house. It's not, whatever.
Now's not a good time.
She turned around. She went and got some paper and a pen. And then she heard a little kerfuffle at the door.
Uh-oh.
When she looked back, there were two men grappling with Steve, and the stranger with the car was now marching toward her, gun in hand, pointed at her head.
Well, fuck. I'd be shitting myself right there.
Yep.
She just turns around and it's like, oop, there they are. They weren't there before.
Oop, shit my pants.
Uh-oh. Spadoodios. Think that's from Family Guy.
Yes. Oh my God.
I think something Stewie says on Family Guy, and it always made me laugh. Uh-oh, Spadoodios. That or Yahtzee. I like the Spadoodios.
After a brief scuffle, the couple was quickly overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Patricia was asking what they wanted, what they did, please stop, all that shit.
Yeah.
And then something happened that probably would have struck her to her very fucking core. These strangers in her home had only really been paying attention to her. And after a few minutes, Steve was able to get up and he took off running.
Oh, fuck.
And nobody chased him.
Oh, terrifying.
She realized they were there for her.
Her, yeah.
So that sucks.
What did Steve just ran?
He ran. And literally, he is never brought up in this fucking story again. I have no idea what happened to him. I have no idea, like, how that fucking ended. I'm going to go ahead and say that relationship
Yeah, that was over.
fairly suddenly after this point. Yeah, that is the last we hear of Steve Weed.
Like, wasn't there a phone in the room? Couldn't he have just... I mean, if nobody's paying attention to him, he could just sneak off to go to a phone.
They would have tried to run after him,
well,
like if he had run for a phone.
But you said
he
nobody
ran
was
for
paying...
the door, and he. Well, if he's running for the phone, it's like, okay, well, we've got to stop him because he might be calling the police. If he's running for the door, he just wants to get out, and cell phones don't exist at this point.
He could go to a neighbor's house.
Well, I'm gonna get into it.
Okay.
They tied her up. They blindfolded her. They carried her to a blacked out van.
God,
and they took her back to their safe house, where she was placed in a literal closet.
I hate all of this.
She was held there for a week.
Oof. Did she get to go to the bathroom?
She was allowed to go to the bathroom, but because they blindfolded her and bound her, she had to have help. She couldn't even piss or shit in peace.
That sucks.
She literally had someone watching.
I mean, there's much worse things than having somebody watch you pee. But
every fucking time, for like literally the only moment you're not in a closet, someone is watching you do a very private thing.
I'd learn to love my closet.
Yep.
Just in that moment.
But she stayed blindfolded. She couldn't even see the closet.
Right.
Yeah.
Still hate it.
Sin-Q kept coming in and talking to her about their ideologies and that the group was thinking about whether or not to kill her. You know, normal stuff.
I thought they were... Well, I think you would think that if you're kidnapping her for an exchange, don't kill her.
Right. So they get to that. So Patricia's family is freaking out, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess at this point, Steve Weed did get to call the cops, and they found out fairly quickly because all of this is happening within like a day or two.
Okay.
She wasn't really rich. She wasn't famous other than her name, and she had nothing to do with the business that was actually super wealthy.
Yeah.
But none of that mattered because SLA knew
name.
the family. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The name was what mattered, and the family had money, and they weren't getting their fellow prisoner buddies out without big demands. SLA demanded that the Hearst family donate $70 to every single needy Californian. The project was going to cost about $400 million. This was made like the day after their kidnapping. They immediately were like, this is what we want.
They had records on all the needy Californians? Or they made an estimate?
No, it was like, I think it was something like literally quote unquote like every single needy Californian. I don't know what the basis for that was, but basically it was probably like if you're not rich, then we're needy.
I see.
I have no idea. It was like an effort at trying to get some food security in a place that was pretty unsecure.
I'm going to guess that the dollar value, if you were to convert that to money today, it'd be like
billions of dollars.
No, but I mean, like, if you're a needy person, you're getting $70. How much would that $70 go today? Converted it,
maybe 3 days. If you are,
I mean, like
so cheap,
it'd be like a little over $200.
Oh yeah. That way, yeah.
That's my guess. Is if the dollar went about roundabouts 3 times further back then.
And if it's $200 back then, and remember, like, and things were super fucking cheap, that could actually go months. That could go a really long way for groceries and shit.
It could help.
Yeah.
At least for 1 or 2 months.
Randolph was quickly able to scrape together not $400 million, but he scraped together $2 million, and he put together a Bay Area specific feeding to it's called People in Need, and it fed the people in need that were in the Bay Area. And it was a pledge to keep the poor in that area fed for a full year. It was like, it's not everything, but this is a start. Can we get our daughter back now, right? And they went out and they donated food, and things started to devolve.
Oh.
The whole scene turned into a shit show. Mass hysteria!
Ah!
Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria! Ghostbusters? Are you kidding me?
No, I never watched it.
What?
I told you my movie knowledge is horrible.
This can be another Patreon thing where like we go through and we watch a movie.
I did say that.
Classic.
I told you that.
I'll do like Godfather. I've never seen that one. And I know I need to see it.
I've seen Godfather and I'll watch it again. I need to watch Godfather 2 because that's supposed to be the good one.
We can pick movies that like one of us haven't seen. And
right. No, I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we talk about it.
Come on.
I know.
Mass hysteria is the point. Okay. Anyway. The SLA was not happy with this outcome. They were like, no.
That was not what we asked you.
That was not what we wanted at all. So they refused to release Patricia.
0.2%.
0.2% that immediately devolved into a fucking riot.
Yeah, because everybody's grabbing at food because
yes, because
it's free food for a year.
Yes.
I would take that now. Excuse me while I adjust in my chair.
She's farting. Don't believe her. She's not adjusting. She's farting.
I'm sharting my ass off.
There we go. Some yoga shit over here. Fucking what is going on with those ankles? You're bending your foot in half. Oh my God. Woof.
I have no
muscles. My ankles would break.
I have no muscles.
Anyway.
Back to regular.
Yeah, there it goes.
Okay.
That was a real fart, huh?
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
They would.
I have to do the
We're talking about something serious, and it is
you
such
brought up
humor.
farts.
Every time, though, it's never not funny. See?
It's not real.
Never not laugh
But
at
it does
that.
sound like one.
It is. It's great. Anyway, they refused to release Patricia. She's still a captive.
Not good enough.
Yep. Not good enough. And this devastated the Hearsts, who were beside themselves with the loss of their daughter, obviously.
Yeah. They're like, God, I have to sell my house first to do that.
Fucking ridiculous. So after a couple of weeks, Sin-Q had started to give Patricia a tiny bit more freedom within the safe house.
And Stockholm Syndrome begins.
She was allowed to have a flashlight.
Flashlight!
She was invited to participate in the group discussions of politics.
I can talk?
Of course, she was also provided with a copy of the SLA manifesto and other reading materials for her closet time.
Closet time.
For her closet time. Private time.
They're like, okay, Patty, time to go to the closet.
Pretty much. After about a month, maybe 6 weeks, according to Patricia, Sin-Q gave her the option. She was either going to be released or she could join the SLA.
To test her. They were never going to release her.
So what I am about to talk about, and this is a very famous case for a reason, but what I am about to talk about is hotly debated to this fucking day about what her actual motivation was. And we'll get into that a lot later. But
Maybe
just,
not Stockholm.
Yeah, right now we're talking about like what her actual motivation was to act the way that she did.
Survival.
But I am going to go through, these are the facts, these are the things that happened actually. And then we can talk about that later. But I just want you to know, these are all verified. This has happened. She actually did this shit.
Okay.
All right. So she stayed. They removed the blindfold, revealing themselves as a group for the first time. As some twisted rite of passage, another member of the group raped her.
Oh.
It was...
No.
Yeah. It was a little more... It was obviously more complicated than that. They were encouraging free love. And she didn't technically say no, but basically one of the team...
How could you say no?
Yeah. One of the teams like, hey, you want to fuck that guy, right?
Like, you don't have a
he's pretty
choice.
hot, right? Like, you should fuck him. And he wants to fuck you. So, like, you should let him fuck you. Like, that would be a really good idea, right? Because free love, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah, that's free
Right?
love. Oh, I hate them.
She adopted a new name. Like most of the people in the group, and as was practice, she chose something to honor former revolutionaries.
Okay.
She chose Tanya for one of Che Guevara's comrades.
Okay.
She began to participate in their discussions openly, helping them out with their plans. And then in early April, Tanya came out to the rest of the world that she had joined the SLA and adopted a new name.
You stripped her whole identity away. The complete brainwashing in my mind. It sounds like it.
After Tanya appeared, she began sleeping with DeFries and the rapist, who was named Wolf. DeFries is Sin Q.
Yeah.
Okay.
DeFreeze/DeFree.
Yeah, Sin Q DeFree. On the tape, they taped her. They have this, they video record her, right? So she's staring off into space. She speaks without emotion, and she accused her parents of having not done enough. Quote, I don't believe you're doing everything in your power. I don't believe you're doing anything at all. You said it was out of your hands. What you should have said was that you washed your hands of it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, God. This must be terrifying for her parents because they're just like, who the fuck is this?
That tape, along with a tape from Sin Q talking about the ideologies, was found in a women's restroom. Just randomly.
In a women's restroom?
Random.
What?
Random.
Okay.
It got to the cops. It got to the parents. There was pretty much nothing to be done at that point.
Okay.
On April 15th, 1974, Tanya was recorded robbing a bank with other SLA members.
Yes. She was caught on tape. Was she wearing a wig?
Quote, I'm Tanya. Up, up, up against the wall, motherfuckers.
Okay. All right, girl.
She held a rifle and had on an accessory every good revolutionary needs. She was wearing a beret.
Oh, the berets.
Fashion.
The berets.
And for his part...
Raspberry beret?
No, it was a black beret.
Oh.
Like all good revolutionaries use.
Oh. I thought there were also green berets.
Yeah.
Different. Very different.
Maybe it was green.
Very
I don't know. The photo I saw was black and white, so that's all I
Okay.
know.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it was a black beret because...
It should be noted that for his part, General Field Marshal Sin Q was wearing a floppy garden hat.
What? Do you have gloves on too and an apron?
God. No, it was like a big coat, but oh fuck, it was so funny seeing Phil. It was like, that is a floppy fucking sun hat. I see moms
I guess
wearing.
to shield his face.
Literally, yeah, it was like one of those. It was one of those like moms wear at the pool to keep the sun off their shoulders and their face.
Well, because they wanted her to be probably the main person that you see on that tape. Because she only had a beret on. Her face is wide open.
Everyone's faces were wide open except for his because he was a wanted fugitive.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense.
So he was trying to hide his
ridiculous. Get ready with me that morning.
I know, right?
Hey guys, it's General Field Marshal Sin Q.
How is this hat looking? Does it cover my face enough? Like, what if I hold it like this? What if I hold my head like this, like this whole time?
Chat, what do you think?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Okay.
It's
well,
not
no,
how it is.
you need to put a little further down on your forehead.
Okay.
Move it down, just a touch, right there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now make that little wave right in front of it. Just kind of go right down between your eyes.
Sure.
Okay. Perfect. They won't recognize you.
Yeah, with my sun hat and trench coat. Very, very, very funny outfit.
It was fucking great. While the members inside the bank were being held up by Tanya, 2 bank members entered the bank, not realizing until it was too late that they'd walked in on a bad situation.
Okay.
The new customers startled the SLA, and members shot them.
Oh, fuck.
I think Tanya might have been one that fired shots, but
We don't know for sure.
No. They got away clean because the SLA obviously needed the $10,000 they left with for their plans to work right away.
Okay.
Yep.
So, like, they basically just took startup money.
Yeah. Yep. They needed funding for their startup.
Okay.
Yep. As every good revolutionary group does.
It's hard out here for entrepreneurs.
In the video, Tanya looked as though she was acting under her own control, clearly comfortable with the weapon she had been holding.
Okay.
This was because in that time she'd been running with the group, or in the time that she'd been with the group, she'd begun training and running drills.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that they're probably, if they're going to bring her on it, she's obviously gotten some training.
Yeah. And they're doing drill after drill after drill. So, and as someone who like does that, you just kind of, it goes into automatic motion after a certain point.
Muscle memory.
Yep, exactly. Which is why you practice it. The group took off from the Bay Area. They took what they could and they set fire to their safe house. Shortly after, the SLA held up and robbed another bank in Carmichael, where Emily shot and killed a mother trying to make a deposit.
Man. Mom's out here just trying to make a deposit.
They disappeared, traveling south to the sun and sand. LA, baby!
Oh, I thought they were going to Mexico.
Los Angeles.
Okay, so they went to Hollywood.
The month later, a couple in the SLA, William and Emily Harris, were trying to rob a sporting goods store in Los Angeles.
Okay, for more guns, I'm assuming?
Yeah. When
Okay.
the manager saw the fairly obvious attempt, he confronted them.
Uh-oh. What'd they do?
He followed the couple out to the van and he tried to get his merchandise back. And he and William began to fight and struggle with each other.
Yeah. They say when someone steals from you, just let them go.
The manager noticed a gun fall out of William's pocket. And it was one of those moments where they looked at each other and time slowed down for a second. And they were like,
And they're both lunging for it?
oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Shit just got serious. Fuck.
Yeah.
The manager did not notice Tanya in the driver's seat of the large van.
Uh-oh.
And she began...
Girl, don't. Tanya, listen to me. Don't do it.
But I wanna...
Don't.
But I have this gun.
Okay, but it
So
doesn't mean
I'm
you have
gonna-
to use it.
So I'm just gonna.
No.
Hold on for just a
No,
second.
I'm not gonna
I
hold
know
on.
what you're saying, but give me just a second.
No.
I just gotta take care of it.
Put your seatbelt back on.
We can talk
Put-
about it later. I just want to do this one thing real quick.
Get your hand
I
off
just
the
wanna
door
do this
handle.
one thing real quick.
No, no.
Real quick.
No.
Real quick.
No.
Real
No.
quick.
Tanya! She just left. What did Tanya do?
She began shooting at a storefront with an
No!
automatic rifle.
Dumbass.
Yep. And it was on auto, so it was just like,
Oh, God. God.
yeah.
Girl,
She
no.
emptied the entire clip into his storefront.
Overkill.
And she started aiming closer and closer to the manager, who had, by this time, taken cover behind a fucking lamppost.
Oh, because that's going to stop him.
I know,
You're
right?
not as thin as a lamppost.
No one is as thin as a lamppost.
Why?
Okay? You're not supposed to be either, okay? If you're getting there, talk to someone. Go see a dietitian who can help you gain some weight. That's
Hide
too
behind
skinny.
a car. Hide behind a building. Hide behind even
She
a
was
mailbox.
shooting at the building.
I know, but hide behind the building.
And all the glass in his storefront was just shattering.
And that's why you go to the back of the building.
He couldn't just run away. Anyway, he was trying to get it. He was trying to shoot back, but he couldn't.
I guess,
get a
yeah,
clean
you don't
shot.
want to turn your back on it.
So she basically provided coverage as William and Emily got in the van, and they got away cleanly. They took off in their van. They drove a ways, and then they ditched the van, abducting a couple drivers and stealing their cars. So they were like, we got to switch out.
Yep.
Hey, that one looks good.
They know this
Let's
car,
go.
but they don't know this car.
They don't know this car. And I can't just leave the driver on the side of the road because then they can tell him what car I'm in. So I'll just take him with me. That sounds good.
Put him in the back.
Put him in the back. So while William and Emily seemed pretty unsympathetic, Tanya went on and on about cyanide-tipped bullets and if the driver they had abducted was feeling okay or not. Like, are you sure you're feeling comfortable back here? I know that was really uncomfortable, but, like, we just needed the car. So you're good, right?
Yeah, totally not.
But we're going to give it back when we're done. So we just need to get back to our safe house, and once we're done with it, we'll just give it right back.
I don't
hand you the keys.
Think I should believe you.
No, but that's really what we're going to do.
No.
I just want to make sure that you're feeling okay.
No.
But you should be feeling okay.
No.
But I want you to be feeling okay.
Why do you care?
You're okay, right?
But, like, why?
You're okay, right?
Why do you
You're
care?
okay, right? You blink at me.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So why is she checking in on him?
Maybe because she'd been fucking abducted herself 2 months fucking earlier and she just
Okay.
maybe related to the dude fucking. But girl, what? What are you doing?
I don't know
okay?
this lady.
The decisions that you're making. What?
Well, I get it, but I don't know. That was English.
That was not English. That was the fake language that my sister and I used to speak to each other
How did
with.
I know?
Oh my God. That is another sibling thing. Sometimes you can make up a stupid made up language and it'll just be like a simple like syllabic
Trick.
Substitution
Pig
or whatever.
Latin.
Yeah, something like that. We had our own little language and that was pretty fun. But I guess as an only kid you
No.
don't do that. Yeah.
No. We spoke English.
My brother never participated in it, but my sister and I had a little secret language for a bit.
That's cute.
That was pretty fun. So they started to go back to the safe house, and back at the van they abandoned, the police were catching up.
Okay.
They matched that van to a shootout and a robbery at a
Okay.
sporting goods store. That van was empty. So the police took a look-see at what was going on in that van.
What's in the van?
What's in the van?
What's in the van?
On the dash had been left a ticket.
Uh-oh.
There was a citation that listed the address of where the car was registered.
Oh, fuck.
So the cops figured,
Let's go there.
I'm probably going back to this spot. Huh?
I think so.
Maybe we should stop by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Since
a little look-see, you hear?
look-see there. Since it had been a shootout at the sporting goods store, the LAPD, at full force in the mid-70s, felt it a wise and necessary decision to show up armed to the teeth. Which was a good call, because when they showed up, Sin Q and his SLA members were inside and ready and shot first.
Of course.
The shootout killed many members of the SLA, including the founder, Donald DeFreeze, whose existence was forever defrozen.
Wow. Yeah, that's another wow. I don't know what to say.
You groaned.
I did.
It's terrible.
I'm sorry. I want to support you, but I can't right now.
Fuck. This is why we need B, okay? He is so indulgent in my pun humor. He's
is.
so indulgent in it. You put me in the penitentiary here. You don't laugh at all.
I
thought it was pretty funny when I said Donald DeFreeze was whose existence
I
was
liked
Donald
that
DeFrozen,
one.
and you just
Oh, not that one.
nah.
I liked DeFree.
DeFree,
Yeah.
nah.
Sorry.
DeFried,
I thought of defried.
like Donald
Defried,
DeFried,
but I'm
his
trying-
existence was defried because he got cooked through the bullets,
We'll find it.
something like that.
I think defrozen was better.
Oh, actually, you know what? Defried is better because once the shootout was over, the house was ablaze.
Ah.
And those who didn't die from a bullet were burned to death.
Like defried.
Defried. He was defried. He was crispy.
Yeah, he was first defrozen, then defried. But first, he had to be defrosted. So actually, it all works out. So, like, he's defreezed when he's alive. He's
Yeah.
defrosted as he's getting shot, and then he's defried afterwards.
Yep. Luckily for the Harrises and Tanya, they hadn't reached the safe house yet. And since it wasn't very safe after that, they really didn't know what to do. They're like, we should probably not go back there.
I don't know if we should live in a place on fire. Doesn't sound right.
Full of bullets. They probably drove up while the whole thing was happening and like just peeked over the hill and just
They
like
just slowly put it in reverse. This is not a safe house.
I cannot whistle, but like the little do 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 do.
Man, I can't whistle either.
Just gonna turn around, all casual,
And it's gone.
As they drive away.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: in crime, everyone knows someone else. And when I say Harris knew a guy, I mean he knew a guy who knew some other guys who knew another guy.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. So no, not Marilyn Manson.
I didn't mean Marilyn Manson. Charles Manson.
Fucking. No, this was after Charles Manson.
Okay.
Manson was in prison by this time.
Damn.
They managed to get out of LA safely, and they somehow managed to get themselves across the fucking country to bumfuck nowhere, Pennsylvania.
Woo!
And this is where Dwight Schrute's beet farm should come into your brain.
Bears, beets, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. But you've seen his farm, right? His beet farm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Picture this, all right? They show up on a fucking farm.
Schrute's Farms or Schrute's Beets or whatever.
Schrute Farms.
Schrute
Yeah.
Farms.
Yep. Best beets in Pennsylvania. Organic.
Great.
He can show you the manure.
I'm good.
I've shown you where I get my manure.
I believe you.
They show up on a fucking farm. They're made to give up their guns because it's a peaceful commune. But the leftover leaders of the SLA, who are now in charge, keep having their people running drills over and over. But now, instead of guns, they're doing it with sticks.
Nice.
And
I hope they're all going pew pew.
And I was going to say, I find this to be something Dwight would run drills on his days off, like with his little sticks, with Moe's. Just they make little obstacle courses in their field.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they have sticks and they're like, pew, 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 pew.
Yeah. I imagine that's exactly what's happening out there.
Oh, my God.
Because remember, they're incompetent. Mediocre at best.
Mediocre at best.
Don't forget the read
Oh, my God.
that they got earlier.
I believe during this point, William Harris began having Tanya write the records of what they'd done for their revolution. And he wanted records of their wins and, like, the sex. Like, he wanted a lot of the records of the sex. He wanted to make sure that the sex was free. And we knew that everybody was about free love. And that's what we want to make sure we can record in history, man, along with our revolutions.
Nah, you're just gross.
Dude, no, we need to talk about our wins and you know,
The
when I'm
wins I
fucking
get.
people, I'm also winning.
Stop.
When I'm
The
fucking
wins
other
I get.
people, I'm also winning though.
Yeah,
but
that's not a win.
Those are wins.
No.
Because every time I come, I win.
Oh, stop talking.
I say it too.
No.
You've heard it. I
No.
said this to you the last time we had sex. Man. I came in, I was like, I win. I'm winning.
Can you not? Can you just not? I'm so sorry, listeners.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry that you just had to hear her. You know what? Cut it.
Never. No,
Okay.
that's staying in.
I'm just so sorry, guys.
Oh my God.
It's like Charlie Sheen over here. Fucking Tiger Blood.
Oh God. Anyway. Winning.
All right.
Right. So she was a little bit more hesitant about waxing
Obviously.
eloquent about her relationship with her rapist, you know?
I would have lots of reservations.
Yeah, but when
About
she
this.
kind of voiced those reservations, William punched her in the face.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
That happens.
Well, that's his way of, exerting authority and control.
Respect my authority.
Yeah. Okay, Cartman. You don't punch a lady. You don't punch people in the face. Just anybody. You don't punch them in the face.
Yeah. No.
No.
That's not what you should be doing.
No. He needs to take a management seminar.
Yeah. Upper management would really...
You know what? They also need HR.
Really, like, benefit from having some good, like, training, you know,
Or like
personal
HR.
relations.
Yeah.
HR would be great.
They
but
need
often, You know
PR.
what? HR is always there to protect the company. So at the end of the day, William, as the leader of the SLA, would have been protected over Tanya, who was the person who dared to speak out against him.
All the more
there
reason
to
I feel like he
protect
should have
the
thought of
company.
HR.
They're there to protect the company.
Okay. I'm just saying. He needs to learn how to properly do business. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And get people to do what he wants. But, you know, that's just me being reasonable.
And that's where you fail. That's where it all
Yeah.
falls down. Because
So, okay, he
you're
punches
failing.
her.
You think that we should be treating these people like fucking humans. And they're just not.
Okay.
Remember, she is a captor. She's a captive. We kidnapped her fair and square. She is not a human. Even though she acts and talks like a rape victim, for sure. Over the next year, the SLA ran drills in hiding on a farm in bumfuck Pennsylvania. Farming land. Worried that they were about to get raided by the FBI. She helped build some IEDs that were then used to try and kill some police officers.
Okay.
There really isn't more to that story.
No, just another bad choice.
Nope, there isn't more to the story because they failed to go off, which is also very Dwight Schrute. I built a bomb to the most exact specifications, and I've tested it 4 times on my farm, which is fine. But the 5th time, when I actually wanted it to go off, I was a little bit lazy about like how I built it, so it just kind of didn't go off. Bombs fail to go off, which is like, so
Of course.
so Dwight Schrute. And this went on for over a year. Secret drills, bombs, all that.
Okay. They never learned how to make a good bomb. I mean, I guess I'm grateful for that.
It wasn't like they could practice them going off, so they just had to build them and hope for the best, you know?
Okay.
Right. So this entire time, the group's waiting to be raided by the FBI, and the feds and Hearst family have like no clue where they are. They have literally just vanished into the wind. Until a tip comes in anonymously from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Wait. Theme song. What's the theme song?
Do 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 do.
Perfect.
And
And anybody who loves that knows the exact opening sequence,
Yep.
and they know all of the buildings. So just imagine that.
although I really think that Daryl's like commercial theme song would have been way better as an updated theme song.
Which one was that one?
Out of paper, out of stock.
Continue.
Dunder Mifflin, the people person's
That
paper
one I know
people.
about.
That's the rest of it. That's the chorus.
So I remember them all getting around the piano.
I was hoping that you'd do something more urban, you know, like your own culture, some rap.
Okay,
What's
Michael.
rap? Ugh. You have so much to learn about your own culture. I'll make you a mixtape.
He is so cringe.
Yes. Yes, he is. It's fucking great. Craig Robinson is one of my favorite actors. Daryl is just amazing.
Yes.
I know he's a minor character in that.
But he's been,
like,
well, he's not that minor.
no, he's a pretty regular character.
recurring character.
Yeah, he's not one of the like top main 4 or 5. But
He is
like,
when he's on screen.
He grows into his role later, which I love. Mm-hmm. All right, so they got this call from Scranton, Pennsylvania. This weird group was running funny-looking drills with sticks, and it looked like that Hearst girl might be in the crowd there. Like, it was just kind of, she looked familiar, right?
Yeah.
So the group gets raided, and everyone is arrested, including Tanya.
Uh-huh.
They charge her with the robbery of the Hibernia Bank, and when they arrest her, they find marked bills from another of the robberies that she helped with, the one that was in Carmichael.
Ah.
They send her to a jail cell, and they treat her like they do every other domestic terrorist.
Makes sense.
When she's filling out the paperwork at the jail cell, she lists her occupation as quote-unquote urban guerrilla.
Okay. Good for you.
Right. She also said...
Her nickname is King Kong.
What?
Her nickname is King Kong. Urban Gorilla.
Queen Kong.
Queen Kong, sorry.
Queen Kong. Yeah.
Like She Kong.
She Kong.
There you go. She Kong. She Kong.
Ooh, baby, when she
Kong.
moved,
She Kong.
But now I'm thinking of like the
American Idol.
Will Hung fan,
Yes.
like the Will Hung guy.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. The fact that he has a whole fucking album.
He does.
He has a whole album of his horrible singing, and he got made famous for that. Is just
I mean, but now it's
wildly amusing to
pop
me.
culture history.
Yes, totally. You can, and anyone who
I
hasn't.
respect it as an art form.
Yes, anyone who has heard his album without context is like, what the fuck does he do with an album? Who gave him this airtime? And then
America did.
yeah, America did, because he is a pop culture icon from one of the most memorable moments in our early 2000s lives.
Yeah.
Yep.
Early American Idol,
Yes.
which I still can't believe it's still running.
I stopped watching it a really long time.
I never watched.
I never watched it regularly. I watched Survivor for the first few seasons, and then I got bored with that one. Yeah, I never watched American Idol regularly, but I liked to watch it sometimes because I like singing. You know, I like hearing people sing.
I'll watch, a couple The Voice TikToks as they pop up. Only
Right.
a couple, though. There was this one girl, though, only 16 years old, and she literally had the voice of a yodeling angel.
Fucking awesome.
It was amazing. She got all four of them.
I love someone with a good set of pipes.
Oh, I'll have to send it to you.
So she told her lawyer to tell everyone outside in the world, tell everybody that I'm smiling, that I feel free and strong, and I send my greetings and love to all the sisters and brothers out there.
Okay.
Right.
That's nice.
Nice.
That's lovely.
Message of solidarity with all of her brothers and sisters.
All right. I'm waiting for the other shoe. Waiting for the next big twist.
The Hearsts are happy with that their daughter is safe, but astounded at the fact that she's still with this group and being charged as a terrorist. They're like, what?
She got kidnapped.
She was a
ransomed.
19-year-old child, and now she's a terrorist? What the fuck? Their daughter looks very different. She changed her hair, she has a faraway, starry gaze, and she looks like a fucking skeleton.
She's on like survival mode.
Yeah.
Like that faraway stare to me tells me I'm trying my absolute best not to be conscious of what's going on right now, honestly, but I'm going to do what I can to stay alive. This is where I think she's going with all this. Yeah. But we don't know.
At 87 pounds, she was described
How tall was
as-
she?
I think she's like 5'4", 5'5".
Still. What?
Way too small.
Oh my
so small.
God.
She was described as, quote, a low IQ, low affect zombie.
Okay. Low affect. Yeah, that makes sense.
She's silent a lot.
Yeah.
Like, her lawyer just basically said, keep your mouth shut during this whole thing and
Yeah.
we'll get you through.
You're not
okay?
helping yourself, ma'am.
You were drugged. You were intoxicated.
You were definitely raped.
You weren't in your right mind when all of this happened.
You went
That's
through
just-
trauma.
Yeah, we're going to go with the silent treatment, and that's going to be it. You're just not going to give him anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For some reason, they didn't want to do that.
What?
So they fired that attorney,
Who did?
the Hearst family.
Why did they not like that? It was going to keep her out of trouble.
Well, they also didn't really believe that defense attorney was going to be her best chance at getting out
Okay.
of her charges.
I see.
They had money, and they wanted to hire the best. So
Okay.
they did.
Who's the best?
Who's the best? F. Lee Bailey is the best.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah. The family hired F. Lee Bailey as her defense attorney, which is a smart fucking move because F. Lee Bailey was becoming a reputed, certified badass in the world of trials.
All right.
Contrary to the advice of their last counsel, Bailey was like, all right, let's have all the interviews, talk to everyone. Let's get all the doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, fucking 10 of each. Let's analyze this girl.
Oh, fuck.
They didn't get actually 10. I'm exaggerating.
Okay. I was going to say that's a lot.
No, yeah, but he wanted
Poked
to
and prodded.
show a different case entirely. He wanted to show a girl highly traumatized. Mm-hmm. A girl whose IQ had lowered by almost 20 points in the time that she was in captivity. A girl whose very existence was threatened if she didn't go along with things.
Makes sense.
Doctors saw pretty plain signs of trauma. Lowered IQ? Check. Gaps in memory of who she was pre-Tanya? Check. Nightmares?
Absolutely.
Check.
Double check.
For sure.
Double check.
Substance abuse?
That's a check.
Yep. Extreme dissociation?
That's that far off stare and low affect.
Yep.
Check.
Check. One moment I really do love is that while awaiting the trial, Patricia's meeting with her mom at the jail cell, or like, in the jail. And Patricia's basically thinking like the whole time her whole family's just written her off because of the things that she'd said in the videotapes, knowing that she'd just done irreparable damage to whatever that relationship was. And she finally calls her mom, like, why are you being so nice? I know that you guys can't fucking stand me. And her mom assures her that she knew that it was never Patricia actually saying any of those words. Catherine knows her daughter, and she knows that if it had actually had been Patricia, the whole thing would have been a lot more sarcastic.
Oh.
It brought a very small smile to Patricia's fairly unhappy existence in that moment. The case didn't concern themselves with whether or not she had robbed the bank, because that part was plain as day. They had video of it. The case itself was predicated on Patricia's state of mind and intent, her motivation to do those things. It was the first time the defense wanted to acquit their client on the basis of something called brainwashing. The prosecution argued that she was voluntarily joining the SLA, that she could have left at any point after they gave her a choice, and that she chose to stay and fight. The defense argued that Patricia was coerced into staying, feeling like her life was threatened if she left. Obviously.
I mean, imagine if she said, I'm going to leave, they're going to be like, fuck, no, you're not.
You're funny.
You knew way too much.
No, we can't let you leave.
Silly girl.
Silly girl. Quitting's for non-revolutionaries.
Yeah, exactly.
The prosecution basically painted her as a child who wanted to go play revolutionaries for 2 years. And the defense painted her as a terrified captive who went along with things so that they could survive.
Okay.
Around and around it went. Patricia was grilled a lot about the sex part of it, because why wouldn't a bunch of old men be privy to rape? All the tiny little details.
It's the easiest way to kind of take her credibility down a notch.
Yeah, let's just talk about some of the most traumatizing moments in your entire fucking life.
And we're going to call you a whore for it.
Yeah.
And it's going to look like you were just going on a wild bender and you got caught up and went with it.
She was very hesitant in the trial to use the word rape.
Really?
And so the lawyer and Herb had a back and forth about it. And when the prosecution intimated that she was voluntarily having sex with these men because she didn't say no.
Okay.
They're like, this is it. You made that choice. And you could have said no, but you didn't.
They don't believe in coercion.
Patricia herself said she froze. She dissociated, obviously didn't want it to happen, but knew that that's how she was getting out alive.
Right.
That was how she would survive.
Right.
The prosecution called her amoral, and the court...
Of course.
Yeah, obviously.
She's a nasty woman.
Yep, terrible.
Nasty.
She was fucking all these men voluntarily for 2 years.
Filthy.
She's a whore.
Filthy.
Filthy whore.
Filthy whore. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So maybe I can do old crone.
I love old crone. I'm really good at old crone.
Oh, we love an old crone.
You filthy whore.
But I want to be a nice old crone. But mean to dicks.
I like old angry lady in Princess Bride, where she sees her in the dream and she's like, rubbish, filth, slime, muck.
I don't think I've seen this in a while. I do not remember this scene.
Boo! 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 And then she wakes up.
I mean, kinda, maybe.
Literally, she sits up in bed and she's like,
time. It's been a long time.
She realizes she's having a nightmare.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I know about every line of it.
Yes, I bet you do. It seems very much like it.
I'm one of those kids where, since we moved around a lot, there were we had a certain set of movies that we watched over and over again.
Yeah.
And I found a lot of comfort in, the repetition of it. And I was able to, okay, now I know what's coming next. And I could memorize the lines really easily. It made it really easy for me to learn things because I would memorize those lines.
Right.
Definitely Princess Bride was one of them.
Yeah, see, now for me,
There's
it
a
was
lot
How
of
the Grinch
quotable
Stole
moments.
Christmas.
Nice.
Cartoon.
It's a pretty good one.
It's such a great cartoon.
Give me the slip bone, daddy.
Oh, I forgot about that. Wait, isn't that Nightmare Before Christmas?
What were you talking about?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Now
a
the
mean
Who's
one.
down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot.
Continue. I was going to see how much you know this.
But the Grinch who lived above Whoville did not.
That's the book, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's also literally they read the book as the cartoon is happening.
Ah. So is the You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch song in the book?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Really are an eel.
Yes.
My favorite line is,
Okay.
I wouldn't touch you with a 39 and a half foot pole.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, classic. Oh, that's my feel good. It's
fucking great, right?
Yeah. After Thanksgiving, I start watching it every once in a while.
Nice. Anyway, so
Okay.
she's really like she's like I was frozen. I didn't say no, but it was because I knew if I said no, I was gonna get killed. Obviously,
Right. I just need to bide some more time so I
Yeah.
don't die.
yeah. So the prosecution's calling her amoral. The
course.
court allows a lot of damning information into the court,
Like?
but she basically
Sex history?
testimony of other members of the group that were like, yeah, no, she
Made a choice.
She made a lot of choices, and she chose him over and over again.
Yeah. Like she said that we would have let her go.
They said that the SLA was a feminist group, and that she couldn't possibly have been raped in a group that is feminist.
Fuck you. That
When-
is.
When this information got out in trial, Emily Harris, who was in prison herself for the murder of a woman at one of the robberies,
Yeah.
she scoffed. She was like, please. She said she remembered it quite differently.
Yes, girl,
Tanya,
spell.
in fact, yes, dish bish.
Spell.
Give me that tea.
Give me that tea.
So the tea is that Tanya, in fact, kept a little trinket from Wolf.
What?
And she talked about him in romantic terms, like they were clearly in a relationship.
Bitch.
Yeah. They've been clearly dating for like 2 years. She talks about him all the fucking time. Okay. So fucking nauseating. Ugh.
Oh my God.
Annoying.
Thank you for your testimony. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She was engaged.
Yeah.
Like, and they took her away from her fiance who nobody knows anymore. And like,
The prosecution had the trinket at the trial.
what was this fucking trinket?
Yeah. So
What was
she
it?
waved it in front of the jury's faces. They were like, this is
Dingle,
what we
dangle,
got.
dangle, dangle. Ooh.
Take a look at this.
It's
I got
panties.
evidence, bitch.
Is it his boxers? His dog tags?
No, it's an archaeological artifact from the pre-Columbian era, and she kept it because it had archaeological significance.
What?
Yep.
Where the what? Who? When did somebody grab an artifact?
That was apparently something that
They just had?
Wolf had given her, and she only kept it around because it's actually archaeologically significant. Not because my rapist gave it to me, but because I know it has historical importance.
Okay. Why would Wolf give this to her?
Because he thought that they were fucking because they cared about each other. They're revolutionaries.
He's delusional.
No, man, it's free love in the SLA.
That is
Duh.
delusion. You kidnapped this woman and raped her.
Or they had a relationship and she kept a little trinket of his.
I don't know if I believe him. They're the ones who kidnapped her in the first place.
At one point, the judge was caught sleeping during a doctor's testimony for the defense.
Excuse me? Sir, this is not time for a nap. I object to your tiredness.
Objection!
You're sleeping.
When he was called on it, he said he was just resting his eyes.
Bullshit. Everyone says that, and we all know it's a lie.
We all
Just
know
like
it's a lie.
everyone knows that that boyfriend who goes to a different school, very likely
doesn't exist.
He does not even go here.
You don't even go here.
God, what a lazy ass. This is an important trial. I keep forgetting I'm away from my mic. It's an important trial, and he's falling the fuck asleep.
Yeah.
Stupid douche.
The prosecution ended their arguments basically saying Patricia was more than happy to play guerrilla warrior.
She did put it down on as her occupation when she
Yeah.
got arrested. So
Yeah.
I will say that does leave a little suspicion, little reasonable doubt, maybe.
F. Lee Bailey said that she was acting the way she needed to act in order to survive.
And I can understand why you're saying that, but here's the thing. She didn't write that down in front of her cronies. She wrote that down in front of officers.
Yep.
After being
Away
arrested, separated.
from her teammates. Yep, she wrote that alone. Now, it could have been a sarcastic as fuck response to like, oh, clearly I just got arrested for being a terrorist, so I should probably write that down as my occupation.
Maybe.
As a sarcastic person, I would definitely think of like, oh, that'll be funny.
But would you do
That'd
it?
just be really funny.
But would you actually do it? That's the question.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
after this, I don't fucking know what I would do. I have no idea.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what it was like to be her.
She was with them for 18 months.
Yeah, that's
a long time.
That's such a long time.
Unsurprisingly, she was convicted.
I can see that. Yeah.
She was sentenced to a maximum of 35 years.
Oh, shit. They really threw the gauntlet down on her. They threw the hammer.
Yeah, they did. There was another charge she pled no contest to.
No contest.
She pled no contest to the store robbery, saying that she was coerced and that when she saw her fellow SLA members being detained, her training kicked in and just went automatic. So she was like, she just acted as her training had commanded her to act for the last 6 weeks that she'd been learning.
See, this is what's so interesting about the brain is it's just... Some of that I can see. I can see some of that. Because, I mean, you know, if for 18 months, I don't know if they're taking that into account, that this woman has, for the first 6 weeks, was blindfolded in a closet and was basically watched peeing the entire time.
I think they slowly gave her some of those
I guess they
privileges.
Did. But like still, it was after 6 weeks.
It was a long time before they actually let her take off the blindfold.
Just that isolation alone really does something to people.
Yeah.
I mean, all the more reason why I think solitary confinement is inhumane.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's exactly. So, I mean, your brain does get rewired.
Because of the store robbery and all of that, she was like, I'm going to plead no contest to this.
Okay.
So they didn't give her additional prison time for that. They gave her probation.
Right, because she's essentially pleaded guilty, but only to, like, she's like, I look guilty.
I know I look guilty, and I'm not going to like.
I'm not going to say I did.
Probably
I'm
don't have a
guilty.
chance of winning this in court,
so I'm just not going to fight it.
So I'm going to not fight it.
Yeah. Okay.
And usually there's like a deal coming. Like this one was, we'll give you probation if you just plead no contest to this.
Okay.
Shortly after she got into prison, one of her lungs collapsed, and she had to have emergency surgery.
Whoa! Why did that happen?
I think she got really sick.
Oh shit!
Like, yeah, her health went downhill real quick.
Damn.
Because of this, she couldn't testify at Harris's trials, at the Harris couple, their trials. So, and then, best of all, they put her in solitary confinement.
No. Why?
Because she was
so
famous. She was so famous, and like they basically, it was like for her own protection.
Well, they put her in a smaller department. You don't put her in solitary. You just put her in a smaller group, maybe.
But they didn't want to spend the money on like private fucking care.
What about her family?
For a massively important prisoner.
What about her family?
It's just easier and cheaper to put her in solitary confinement. They'll tell her family she's staying in the fucking Ritz, man. We've got her in the best prison cell we can possibly have, and she's got
all by herself.
Care. Yeah, exactly. She's got her own private cell.
That's not good.
She has her own private cell.
My mom would probably protest and come down there. She knows that solitary is like being by yourself. Like she doesn't even want me living on my own right now.
Right. No, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Later that year, she was granted bail because her dad put up a massive amount of money, probably, in order to get her out on appeal.
Okay.
He hired a shit ton of bodyguards for his daughter.
Makes sense. Okay.
She was surrounded at that point. Her appeals process was a shit show. The Supreme Court declined to hear the case, so her bond was revoked. So she went back to prison. A representative in California, a guy named Leo Ryan, had been collecting signatures to try and get her released, but he left for a short visit down to a place in Guyana called People's Temple Agricultural Project.
Oh, no.
And he never came home.
Jonestown?
He's the representative Leo Ryan that got murdered on the tarmac.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that is still by far one of the biggest tragedies that's happened.
Yeah. Yep.
In
it's
the 19th
terrible.
or 20th century.
Yeah.
It was horrifying. Oh my God, he was part of the People's Temple.
Yep. and because he had been working on it when he died, it never got finished.
Yeah.
John Wayne spoke on her behalf, and basically...
John Wayne?
Yep.
The John Wayne?
The John Wayne spoke
All right,
on her...
Pilgrims.
Who was a horrible fucking racist, okay?
Yes, he was.
Terrible guy. But he was famous in that time, in that area, in Hollywood and stuff, and basically the upper crust of California royalty all spoke about the need to release her. You see, there was a double standard here. If one weird-looking guy in Guyana can brainwash 900 people into committing suicide, how can we possibly think that the SLA wasn't capable of doing the same thing to one scared teenage girl?
Yeah. 19. I was a fucking idiot at 19.
Yeah.
It's
There's a reason a lot of cult members are young women.
Yeah. It's so easy to manipulate a younger person. And these,
Especially if they didn't have, if they were
privileged
starved.
life.
Yeah, and there's no reason for her to have known hardships. And then she went from a nice life to terrible trauma.
Yeah, hostage trauma.
Yes. Can't see out of a fucking blindfold for 6 weeks trauma.
God, imagine how bright it was when they took it off. Oh,
I gotta take it off in the low light, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I need one eye at a time. Pirate style.
You know what? Actually, I do that when I if I have to pee at night, because my dad, when I was a little kid, I saw him walking around with one eye open, and I was like, "Why do you look like a pirate?" And he goes, "Just help. I don't only have to adjust one eye then."
Yeah.
And so now when I'm in the middle of the night, if I have to pee, just keep one.
No, I just blind myself. Every time I turn the light on. Just yeah.
Anyway, so brainwashing can happen to a lot of people. Why can't it happen to one tiny scared girl?
Yeah.
Further, this whole double standard of wealthy people getting slapped on the wrist was actually the opposite in this case. Patricia's fame and relative importance in the world of media meant she had the book thrown at her.
Yeah,
when
as
she
an
got convicted,
example.
which got a lot of attention. Weirdly, the misfortunes of history can be helpful to some.
Not all.
Some.
Some is the key word here. Yeah. Oof, that girl.
It got enough attention to reach the White House,
Oh, fuck.
where President Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
I
do not know how his accent.
I think he's from Georgia, so I totally got that wrong.
Oh, well.
He decided to commute her sentence. She was
Oh.
released in February 1979, but she stayed on probation for the sporting goods robbery.
Okay.
Once she was actually free and not just out on bail, she married one of the guards who had been her security detail during the time that she'd been out, in the middle of her prison sentence.
Okay.
When she had the surrounding people. Yeah. One of them, I guess, she got along with, and a couple weeks later, it was 2 weeks after she married one of the guards.
Jesus.
Yeah. And they're still married.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
I would imagine it was probably they trauma bonded fucking hard.
It sounds like it could have been that, which,
Yeah.
trauma bond is a strong bond.
But anyway.
Yeah.
In the early 80s, she wrote a book about her experience being kidnapped, raped, and brainwashed. It was called Every Little Thing, and it pissed the government off.
Whoa, it pissed the government off.
And it pissed them off enough to want to actually try to bring new charges against her.
Whoa.
They looked into we could bring new charges, and they decided against it, luckily. But
Okay, what were the things they were upset about?
basically it was you didn't say any of these things at your trial, and what you're trying to describe is some sort of outlandish thing that didn't actually match what we had in court. And how could we even possibly? I think she also maybe admitted to other crimes, maybe that she had connected to the SLA or something. But
Girl.
I don't know. But luckily she decided against it.
Okay.
So forever after, the public would be divided on Patricia Hearst, and that name would become synonymous with brainwashing, Stockholm Syndrome, and faker.
Phony. She's a
Phony.
great big phony.
Phony.
That's also a Family Guy reference.
Biographer Jeffrey Toobin wrote a book about her, and it's pretty clear what side he's on.
Okay.
Quote, "If you look at her actions over the following year, you see the actions of a revolutionary, not a victim. There was some glamour to what she was doing. The swagger of wearing berets, of carrying machine guns, the romance of revolution was an undeniable part of the appeal of the SLA.
Okay, so he's just saying, dude, she just was having fun
She
playing
was having
dress up.
so much fun for 18 months. She was playing revolutionary, and then she got tired of it, and then the FBI caught her, and she was like, oh no, I got kidnapped, and I'm traumatized, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, poor pity me.
I mean,
He really kind of wanted to paint her as like, she doesn't feel bad about this, and luckily she got off scot-free because she was a rich white girl.
possible. But it also, I mean, could be absolutely true.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like she asked to get kidnapped. I mean, it's not like... I mean, that's still traumatic.
She was already exploring her liberal views at Berkeley when the kidnapping happened, so it wasn't like a far stretch to be like, yeah, I could be a fucking revolutionary. Let's do this for a couple months. Yeah, sure. Let's go. And then when it all went to shit, be like, Mommy, Daddy, something bad happened. I want to come home now. Which is basically what they kind of tried to paint her as. It's once being a revolutionary got hard and the FBI got in on her, on the case, then it got scary. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, none of us know. Because we aren't her.
Patricia went on to be an actress. She had 2 children. She appeared in a number of movies, TV shows, and has had a handful of documentaries about this fairly traumatic ordeal.
Okay.
She has dogs, and to this day competes and wins dog shows.
What's her dog breed?
I don't fucking know, man. In 2009,
gotta research these things.
I think you could probably look it up on
I know.
Wikipedia.
I'm joking.
In 2009, she was interviewed again, and this time, since she wasn't on trial, she had the freedom to say that the prosecution claiming she was consenting to her relationship was outrageous and an insult to rape victims everywhere.
Yes.
In other words, it took way too long for this woman to live a relatively quiet and normal life, which she is still living today. And I hope it's a nice one.
I hope so. I hope it's calm.
Yep.
I hope it's calm. Focus on your dogs. Hope to see you at Westminster.
Focus on your kids.
Yeah, your kids. Maybe your kids first, then dogs. Typically.
I would imagine there's different levels of focus at different times, Prioritize things. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you go, girl. Hope you're doing well.
What do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
I think it was I think that there was coercion. I think that she was doing what she needed to survive. So, okay, the Mormon Church is weird about rape.
Yeah.
They have said multiple times, basically, it is better to fight to the death and be murdered by your would-be rapist than let yourself get raped. As a woman, that's what they say. It's like,
yeah, don't tell me
fight
to fight
to the death.
I'm not going to the death.
Before you let yourself be violated like that.
No.
Because God forbid a woman's life, or God forbid a woman's virginity get ruined. Let her life be ruined first.
Or, her autonomy at all.
Yeah. Heaven forbid. So I have always been very like, you fight. But but I've grown up.
Yeah.
Having certain opinions and my dad taught me a lot about self-defense and situational awareness and tried to help me prevent getting in situations like that, etc. And I have been luckier than most, not as lucky as some. But there is an element of coercion and survival.
Yeah.
And when you have had your senses completely cut off for weeks.
I can't imagine what that's like.
And literally at that point, you're
so
like,
disorienting.
Okay, I need food. I want to sleep in a bed. I want to stretch out. I've been in a fucking closet for weeks at a time or sitting on a toilet and there's no in between. I think you say what you need to fucking say to live another day.
And the fact that she was under 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Too.
You're definitely not eating the stuff that you need to eat. You're making choices that are basically I gotta just keep going until I can be done. And
until I can find an opening.
The footage of her in a video, she looks like starry-eyed. She looks like she's
Really?
kind of staring off into a distance. And there are other pictures of her like as a revolutionary, I think, where she's, you know, she's got a bigger smile on or whatever. But like in the videos and in the photos of her like kind of in front of the SLA flag,
Yeah.
she looks really spaced out. And like she's there and she's just going to say what she needs to say and move on with it.
I see. I'll have to look that up.
And I'm sure you know what I mean when I say dead eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know what dead eyes look like.
It was, I'm going to go through here. I'm going to get
I'm
through this.
physically here, but
I'm physically
not.
here. I'm going to live through this and I'm going to move on to another day.
Yeah.
And I think at a certain point, you end up having to buy into your own bullshit because that's your existence now. And you know that the only way out is death. And so it's like, all right, well,
And I guess
I'm
I'm
in
along,
it.
I'm along for the ride.
I might as well try to have a little bit of fun with it or something. You know, I might as well try and I have to look like I'm fitting in too. It's not like I can just be miserable for 2 years and like visually, because then people question my like loyalty. They question my motivations. I won't have trust within it. You know, it'll be a whole thing.
Right.
But
I'd rather not fight it.
yeah. So I think it's super complicated, but I do not think that she chose the path that she chose. I think she did what she needed to do to survive.
Yeah, I
And
would have to agree.
Even if you're not saying no, your rapist is still raping you.
Yeah.
Even if that's not a thing that comes out. Like
You're not consenting.
Freezing is valid. It is a valid traumatic response.
Yep.
And if that means that you are not consenting and also not refusing, it's still not consenting. So fucking terrible. And the trinket, honestly, like,
Oh, wow.
I get that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Archaeologist, I get that. I'm like, yeah, duh. You keep it so that you can.
Yeah, you don't want to throw history away.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, this has significance, so I'm just gonna keep that in my pocket.
Sweetie. Pippin's telling us it's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Anyway,
So the doggy is telling us it's time to wrap it up.
but that's her life.
Patricia
Hearst.
Hearst, not Patty Hearst. Patricia.
Yeah, and even her Wikipedia page says Patty. So
Yeah.
there's it.
I mean, colloquially.
Yeah, in history she's known as Patty Hearst because that's what the newspaper named her as. All right, we're gonna go love on my dog.
Yes,
and,
we've been ignoring them for too long.
Anyway, this has been a fucking podcast.
A fucking podcast.
Bye.
Bye.